So when it rains, it pours. Former American Idol judge Paula Abdul is suing one of the executive producers for sexually harassing her and SAing her during her time on the show. Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your #1 source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So this story broke, not sure what time it was where you were at, but it was daytime here in Kyoto, Japan. And I said I needed to talk about this because I didn't see this coming, and I know a lot of you are saying, why are there so many lawsuits coming out at this time? Well, you know, when we covered the Cassie and Diddy lawsuit, the statute of limitations had already expired for a lot of these SA cases that were coming out. But there was a new law in New York State and in California that gave people up until November 20-something for New York of this year, and for California, I believe it's about to run out. So this is why we're getting the story that Paula Abdul is suing one of the executive producers, Nigel Lythgoe, for sexual harassment and SAing her twice. So Variety had the exclusive on this story, and they reported this. They said Paula Abdul alleged in a lawsuit on Friday that she was twice sexually aided by Nigel Lythgoe, the executive producer of American Idol and So You Think You Can Dance. Abdul, as you know, rose to stardom in the late 80s and built a second career as a judge on the competition reality show in the early 2000s. It was a whole new revitalization of Paula's career. So in the suit, Paula alleges that during one of the early seasons of American Idol, Lythgoe SA'd her in an elevator. And again, trigger for those that might have been SA'd or just do not like to hear stories about this. So please feel free to just swipe out of the video or come back. So she alleged in the lawsuit that he had shoved her against a wall, groped her chest and private area, and shoved his tongue down her throat. According to the suit, she tried to push him away, and as soon as the hotel door opened, she ran to her room. So years later, Abdul was a judge on So You Think You Can Dance. Lythgoe invited her to his home for dinner, and she accepted, thinking it would be a professional encounter. Remember, she's thinking this is years later. I can already hear people in the comment section, especially women, always coming up with an excuse to justify some of these cases. I don't get it, but it is what it is. But she's saying years later, probably thinking, okay, he knows I'm not interested. We can have a professional conversation. Lythgoe invited her to his home for dinner, and she accepted, thinking it would be a professional encounter. However, according to the suit, Lythgoe forced himself on top of her while she was sitting on his couch, attempted to kiss her, and said that they would make a great power couple. Sir, no one really knows who you are. I mean, I do because I know these things. But a power couple? I guess maybe in the world of Hollywood where people know who he is. So again, she pushed him away and fled his home, the lawsuit states. The suit also accuses Lythgoe of verbal harassment and bullying, and alleged that Abdul was discriminated against and was paid less than the male judges on American Idol. I just want to remind you guys, we were just talking about, well, we haven't talked about it, but you've seen the conversation about Taraji P. Henson and how she has described the discrepancies for women and black women in Hollywood. So I'm not surprised that Randy and Simon were making more money than she was. And let's be honest, the show was never the same without the magic of those three. So the suit also accuses Lythgoe of verbal harassment and bullying, and alleges that Abdul was discriminated against and was paid less than male judges on American Idol. The suit further alleges that the show would be edited in a misleading way to make her appear inept. Remember, that was one of the big things in some of the jokes that you may have seen on, you know, Mad TV or SNL when they would replay or reenact scenes from American Idol. They always made Paula seem inept or goofy or like she didn't know what she was talking about. But we have to give Paula her credit when it comes to what she has done in her career. And I'm not just talking about Paula as a musical artist. I'm talking about Paula as a creative director, Paula as a dancer, Paula as being one of the people that helped mold and give us the early Janet Jackson. Okay? So, additionally, Abdul alleges that she witnessed Lythgoe S.A., one of her assistants, in April of 2015, pressing up against the assistant and groping her without consent. In the suit, it says, for years, Abdul had remained silent about the SA and harassment she experienced on account of Lythgoe due to fear of speaking out against one of the most well-known producers of television competition shows who could easily break her career as a television personality, and of being ostracized and blackballed by an industry that has a pattern of protecting powerful men and silencing survivors of SA and harassment. The suit alleges that Lythgoe's behavior was common knowledge and cites a Mad TV parody in which Lythgoe was seen harassing contestants. According to the suit, Lythgoe called Abdul once and taunted her, saying that it had been, quote, 7 years and the statute of limitations had run. He didn't see that this new law was going to come. Abdul signed a non-disclosure agreement as a part of her employment on both reality shows, which prevented her from disclosing confidential or derogatory information. But as you know, if you've been following any of our stories and we've talked about NDAs, they do not cover illegal mistreatment or in the workplace or otherwise. Okay, we've talked about this. However, that's not saying that people in power that have had people sign these NDAs have said otherwise, saying that you can't say anything. You signed an agreement, and if you say anything, you're going to have to pay me millions of dollars. So Abdul filed the suit under California's SA and Cover-Up Accountability Act, which created a 1-year window to file certain sexual abuse lawsuits that would otherwise be outside the statute of limitations. The deadline to file is December 31st. Abdul is also suing 19 Entertainment, Fremantle Media North America, American Idol Productions, and Dance Nation Productions. The suit alleges that the companies failed to take steps to discipline Lythgoe and protected him from accountability. We've seen similar behavior with the Cassie lawsuit, where she named all of the companies involved. She took that lawsuit as I was an employee and these were my employers. This will be interesting, and we're going to continue to follow all of these lawsuits and why you see them coming up. We already told you that this new law in both California and in New York has given us this window for people to speak out about abuse. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts on this lawsuit. Do you believe what Paula is saying here? Let's continue this conversation in the comment section. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.